All right, so you guys have been really putting in some work in your relationships, y'all. I've been really seeing it. You guys have been putting in work. Everybody in the zodiac so far has been putting in some work. Um, so you got Eight of Wands. Things have not been very fun. I think you guys are trying to capture that fun right now. Be that saggy self, right? Trying to and utilize your squaring energy, as hard as it is, to drum up a beautiful world of imagination, fun, but also allow the space to be safe and to be loving and endearing and growing somehow, right? Because Pages of Wands, they're pages really, they're like new beginnings, but they're also small little sparks of whatever the element it is associated with. Like for wands is a spark of creativity, a spark of passion, a spark of incitement, enthusiasm, fun, right? Something lighthearted, not very serious, but it's a very expressive, and it's in the moment, and it's so enjoyable. It's a spark of a new adventure. But then at the same time, right, it does indicate that with the Page of Wands, there is this element of growth to this that does eventually strengthen, right? It does eventually, blossom into something bigger. So right now, even though some things are right, I think some things have been very serious. I think the small little integrations of fun, the small little get-togethers and enjoying your time, that's going to get a little bit better. That sort of routine and being put into your love life will definitely be more active and more, not enforced, but definitely more encouraged, because everyone's going to realize that that's the part that they're missing. Of course, when it comes to putting in stable boundaries for the relationship, putting in work in regards to learning each other and what everybody's boundaries are too, and then figuring out what time you could you could spend with your person, etc., right? All those things are important, but when you don't spend time with one another, when you don't have fun, or you don't do things that you guys can both enjoy with each other, or having intimacy, time together, like that is super important. And I think that integrating those things is what you're trying to do this week, guys. I think you guys are really like, you know what? We've been busting our ass trying to make this relationship work, but whatever is the whole reason why we're together in the first place, it's because of love, it's because we work together, and it's because I enjoy you as a person, and I find that you're my partner in crime, right? You want that partner in crime this week. Because how this reading is looking, it's like you guys know you have this there, but everybody and everything is kind of gone in a very serious direction, and you just want something to do that's fun with your partner. Not serious, not financial, nothing. You want to enjoy them. So let's go ahead and start off with this reading here. I'm going to start with this person on this side, but feel free to, pick the side that resonates with y'all the most. So this person on this side here, coming into this relationship, they're thinking of the Ace of Cups, right? So the Ace of Cups is what they are thinking towards the relationship. So they know that this is a brand new beginning. This is going to take time to grow. This is opening them up emotionally as well. This is them looking within the insights. This person is also very open to love. Okay, I feel like this person is definitely wanting to connect with other people, connect with how they feel, connect with their emotional selves. Like, I think this is a brand new beginning. I understand that this is going to be this whole thing is about emotional and spiritual growth, not just having a relationship with somebody, but this is strictly like I know I need to. This is a brand new beginning. I know we're starting out fresh, and I'm going to take the helm as much as I can. Right? I'm going to be. I want to be as much. I want to be as emotionally involved as I possibly can. And the thing is that this person is learning how to be this way. This person with the Ace of Cups is learning how to be emotionally open, learning how to be, receptive and sensitive to other people's emotions. And just as much just as much as being, sensitive to their own emotions. They're learning how to be aware that their emotions matter. Because they have been very serious. They've worked in a serious situation, or they've worked in places where their emotions do not matter, or where they were told their emotions don't matter. So this is all about exploring those emotions and even embodying those emotions, right? Which is what the Page of Wands, in my opinion, does. When you embody emotion, that's expression, and Wands is expression. And this person is just getting the hang of it, or at least understanding and is very much aware that this is a brand new situation where they have to be emotionally open. I love the other person's with the star. This person here sees this as another opportunity, a fresh start, a brand new beginning. This is like they're really putting an effort that they can into the relationship, doing what they know, putting in what they can. Like they're really putting in the effort here. This also for them, I feel like this is an opportunity for them to heal past situations by taking this opportunity and doing what they can and doing what they want with it to the best of their ability, trying to put everything that they've learned into this new beginning, right? Now, there's a lot of hope from this person. They do see a lot of hope. There's a lot of, growth for this individual here. And I really love that. This person could very well be an Aquarius. They don't have to be, though, to have this sort of hope. I feel like this person is very, very enthusiastic about how the relationship can go and where it can blossom. I don't really see that this person feels like there is, they're struggling with faith, or they're struggling with having this beautiful, having the idea of there being any sort of real possibility of anything that they want to happen in the relationship. I mean, very slight. This person may have maybe a hiccup in faith. Maybe they don't really truly believe that this is going to work out, but I don't think so. I think this is like they are holding on to hope, but they're struggling with the reality of things. They're struggling with something in the present. It's obviously proposing a challenge, but it's not deterring their hope to the point where they don't see that there's any solution. I feel like this person is doing the best they can, but of course they're hit with roadblocks. They're hit with things that they're on the contrary of their own beliefs, they're getting the other side of, right? They're trying to understand the other side. They're trying to work things through. This is a challenging kind of card, the Five of Wands. When this person's coming in the present of the Five of Wands, they're not trying to be combative. They're enforcing. They're not enforcing. They're being themselves, but it's contradicting to other people's, self, if that makes sense. This is like the competition card. This is the card where the people compete with one another. And I don't think this person is competitive. I really don't. I mean, some of you guys may be dealing with somebody that's competitive, and if that's the case, then I don't know why this person has so much hope then, if they're wanting to compete with you. But the thing is, though, is that this person is not trying to compete with anybody. This person is not trying to start problems. This person is trying to, solve situations that are left unresolved. And the Five of Wands, in my opinion, are situations that are, that are brought to the table that aren't completely important to get a stable situation on, right? Like, for instance, you may have a difference of opinion, or there's a certain behavior that you're doing that may not match up with someone else's. Where's the equal ground? Where's the balance for them? So the whole situation about this is that everybody's used to doing their own thing, but there's clashing now of what everybody's doing, of how everybody sees things, about how they express themselves. There's a lot of clashing. It's not a bad thing, though, because I don't think this person sees this as anything bad. It's difficult and it's intense when it happens, but this person is doing the best they can with it, because the star, in my opinion, is someone that puts in the effort to make their dream happen. They don't just manifest. They don't just wish. They don't just wait for it. They are there with their jugs of water, giving back to the earth, giving of themselves. Where they could have drank in the water, used it to take a bath, they're giving it to the earth. They're really putting in the effort that they need to grow something, and this is their effort. And it may be clashing with other people, it may be clashing with the person that they're with, but this is excuse me, I don't know what happened there. Whatever. Okay, but this is not this person trying to get on this person's skin or fight with this other person. This person is trying to get to an understanding, because there's differences in how other people are reacting in the situation. That's always how I always see the Five of Wands. Everybody's got their own little technique, and it may clash with one another. It may not really, match up, but that's the whole point of this excursion, this point of this energy, is to recognize the differences of energy and work and figure out a way to work, or figure out a way for them to work in harmony. Especially with this relationship here, a balance is definitely one of those things that are going to be needed. Because right now nothing's stable. The challenge is the Four of Wands. The Four of Wands, in my opinion, is a place of stability. Not necessarily like the Four of Pentacles. Not necessarily like the Ten of Pentacles. But it does show that you've reached a period, or reached a point in your process of manifestation where you have more, you have a platform for expansion. Right? And there is no platform for expansion at this moment. I think there's a lot of things in common. There's a lot of things that you guys understand about each other. There's obviously some things that made you guys come together, which is justice, which is showing to me that there was, some of you guys decided to get married. Some of you guys, with justice, you guys feel a very karmic connection between you and this individual. And it's very interesting, right? Because justice can indicate unions. It doesn't have to be legal, per se. It can talk about legal proceedings, and it can talk about things that are, definite, that are by law or whatever, right? But it doesn't have to be. It can clearly be that there is a union together. Okay? You guys could be dating a Libra as well. But the whole point of justice is about, I think it's the fairness, it's the balanced individual. Like, what balance did you have? What does the other person have? You guys could have honestly gotten together because you guys were both imbalanced. It could always be like that. Either you guys came together already very balanced out, and now you guys having to work with each other, which threw off the balance anyway, as it usually does. It's normal for that to happen. Anybody that that is in a relationship knows that the way you are by yourself versus the way you are with another person can't really be the same. There's adjusting, there's working with what the other person's boundaries are, same as they have to work with your boundaries. There's a lot of balancing that has to be in place. So both of you guys could have came into a situation, or having your own thing, having your own system and having your own thing of working, own way of working, and now having to work with the other person's differences, which is already going to throw it off. At the same time, the reason why you guys both, could have gotten together could have also been you guys were both in balance, and you guys came together to learn the balance that you need for yourself and for a relationship. Okay, so like I said, with this person with the Five of Wands, this person is definitely seeing the differences of technique, differences of opinion, differences of everything, and they're not angry, they're not frustrated. This is just intense and very difficult. It can be difficult, but it's definitely intense. And the reason why I feel like this person is definitely ready to do, is, arguing, fighting, whatever, has a lot of conflict going on, it's mostly because this person has the King of Swords. All right. So remember when I said this person was emotionally open? Explains why this person is starting out learning how to embrace their emotions. This person is naturally and normally detached. They do not look at their emotions very well. They come from a very logical place, or at least they think they do. Now, the King of Swords comes from a logical place because he's gone through things. He's gone through several different situations where his logic seems to prevail. He does this to protect his emotions, so he already knows how he feels. He already knows what he wants. And the King of Swords knows what knows how he feels, accepts his emotions, but he continues to lead his life through a very logical basis because he knows that with making sound decisions, it can't come from an emotional place. He has to understand where his emotions come from, which is why he's the king. That's why Aquarius is the King of Swords, because he always analyzes his emotions to understand them, to understand where they come from, to come up with a consensus as to what prompted this emotion or whatever. And, it's really conducive. But the King of Swords here also has the tendency to be very stubborn and to resist differences of opinion. Like, it resists in regards to his own behaviors changing. Now, the reason why this person is struggling could be that this person doesn't see the need to change or adjust how they are. They're fine with how they are, and because of the things that they've been through, it justifies the actions that this person is taking, which is standing their ground and keeping from adjusting to different things. But this person is also, in my opinion, the King of Swords is very close-minded to the differences of opinion. Like I feel like the reason why I say the King of Swords is closed-minded in regards to differences of opinion, differences of thought, because typically he's not. The reason why he is here is because this person already feels like they know everything. The King of Swords is typical to know everything, typical to, having all the answers, and that can be very frustrating. Making the whole conflict and adjusting thing very difficult for everybody, because this person obviously does not know everything, because they are still learning how to be emotionally open. This person is having to become emotionally aware. Even though I feel like the King of Swords naturally, how the tarot's read, this person knows how they feel. They know, where their emotions come into play. This person has it on all the time. They have their logical mind on all the time, not their emotional just part of them all the time. The King of Swords, it's kind of similar. He don't let his emotions in and have a factor in anything. He engages with his mind first before his heart. He never engages with vice versa. That's what the King of Cups does. He doesn't think before he acts. He just feels. Okay, he doesn't think before he feels. He feels before he thinks. And this guy here is thinking of why he's feeling and thinking ahead of everything. Like, he's just thinker. So this person is naturally detached. Now, this could be that this person has gone through some really painful situations where they have not been able to truly allow themselves to be, vulnerable with people. Because this is what can happen. The King of Swords doesn't just decide to be an asshole. He comes from a place where he was vulnerable, where he was open to different perspectives, and maybe, just maybe, he was actually, hurt by the things that people have said to him, how he was treated when he was vulnerable. And usually this is why this person is the way that it is. They've been through enough to be, to detach. They've been through enough to no longer trust people with their emotions. But the thing is that this person has not lost hope. And I feel like this person sees that there is a potential for this person to reconnect with their emotions and, be able to, articulate them in a way that benefits them. Now, the King of Swords is usually very, very good with communication. And I do feel like this person does communicate their truth very clearly, okay? I do feel like, though, this is all action, this is all thoughts. I think this person that has the tendency to overthink a situation. The King of Swords doesn't overthink. He thinks just the right amount. But with the Ace of Cups here, and it's just like this person automatically is very detached. And it's because they've been through some things where, like I said, this person may have been in a situation where, especially within either in the workplace or how they grew up, their emotions were shunned. Their emotions were, how they were when they were vulnerable was not good. Because this is someone that's been through some really rough stuff. It could be this person been through a lot of different things. And it prompted them to believe that coming from an emotional place may be a sign of weakness, doesn't show strength, and doesn't provide solvable solutions. Because this person can be a very solution-based individual. This person is very, very logical and in the mind oriented. Okay, and I feel like the communication is something that this person would be good at. There's communication here that definitely can work at it. But, I feel like there's no problem here with communication. At the same time, though, right, when it comes to expressing someone's emotions, I don't know how he feels about that. The King of Swords naturally would be good at communicating about their emotions. Not necessarily, they know how to articulate it, they know how to describe it, they know where to, what vocabulary to use with certain people to convey their emotions. They have no issues with conveying any message. They're clear communicators. No matter what the topic is, they're good at communicating it. But when it comes to a logical place, it's like they don't feel like it, they're trying to introduce feelings and it's hard for them to do because they come from a very logical place. This person is embracing their emotions after situations which taught them otherwise. And the reason why this person's entertaining their emotions, right? The reason why this person is seems like completely cold, right? And I feel like the King of Swords, this person doesn't have to be completely everything I just said, because this person is displaying themselves as the King of Swords. Even though this could be an Aquarius that you're dealing with here, Sagittarius, you may, whoever the side that you resonate with it anyway, this doesn't have to be Aquarius. This doesn't even have to be the person that that I was describing. It could just be that this person's just really detached, very masculine, and they are very detached from their emotions. This person can also indicate that this person can be very well really well versed in communication. They're very, very clear on how they communicate. They don't have to have every aspect, but the thing is that this person is appearing this way. It doesn't always have to be that this person is this way. They may be just not, open to communicating emotionally. They're good with talking about, logical things or science or conspiracy theories in general. But when it comes to emotions, they're starting out fresh. They're babies when it comes to this. They're starting out again. They're starting anew. This is a brand new cycle for them. Whether this is something that's the first time ever being emotionally vulnerable, or this is them reintroducing an opportunity that will put them in a place of vulnerability. And the reason why this person is like this is because of the Empress. Right? That's weird, right? How does somebody that displays detachment and has the mentality of Okay, I have to be a certain way. I can't really allow myself to be emotionally open. Have the Empress is the reason why they do this. It could be because they have situations with their parents, their mother specifically. It could be that their mother taught them that being emotionally vulnerable is a sign of weakness. It could be. Now, at the same time, this person could be very masculine, and they may feel like the feminine aspects of themselves, they're not taking good care of themselves, or they may want something. They want to actually create a situation, a safe space for their emotions to be loved, because they don't do it themselves. Okay, even though the King of Swords always protects himself, he doesn't. I feel like the King of Swords, he only embraces his emotions when absolutely necessary. But I feel like with the Empress coming up, there is definitely I think honestly, the biggest thing is more of like, why is he even entertaining love if he's like this? Well, it's because he found somebody that makes him softer. That doesn't make him so tough. Makes him so what is the word? So resistant to emotions. This person found someone that is patient with them, that's willing to explore their emotions with them together. This isn't just like, this person finds security in someone else that allow them to be okay with being vulnerable. This is why this person is thinking they know they have to go into this with their emotions, and they're already geared up for war. Because they're having to fight themselves, I think, with being vulnerable, because they know the person that they're dealing with is someone that loves them, that cares them, and loves them unconditionally. Empress is the mother. She doesn't care where you came from. She doesn't care what your background is. She will love you no matter what you do, no matter how you think or feel, whatever. She will love you. And I feel like with the Empress being here, right? With the Empress being here, she provides a safe space. This is Taurus energy. Safe space. Comfort, love. She's patient, and I feel like this person, no matter even the King of Swords, has got weak knees for somebody that that shows them compassion and care. Because the King of Swords is capable of unconditional love too. You would think that because he's detached, he doesn't love. Love doesn't just restrict itself to just feelings. This is somebody that can come from a place of where they were battered and hurt and burned by so many people, but still can love, but accept you all at the same time. This is the capability of the King of Swords. He will love you to the ends of the earth, and he will accept you, but you may not ever be close to him ever again, because he has to protect himself. And that's the beauty of the King of Swords. He will love you, he will accept you, but he may not have you if you cannot respect him for who he is. If he does not deem you, capable of respecting his boundaries and respecting his beliefs, just respect, not abiding by him, not following them, just respect. And I feel like this person here has found somebody that will be patient with him to even explore their emotions. Now the other person has got the Magician coming in. That's the reason why they have the Five of Wands and the Star. This person's coming in with a hell of a lot of confidence. They've manifested this energy, as a matter of fact. This person to come into their lives, they manifested this entire situation. And it may be difficult, but they know that they're ready for it. That's the beautiful thing. It's like they know it's difficult. They know it's going to be difficult. They know it's not no walk in the park. But this person doesn't care about how difficult it is, because this is a new opportunity to do what they want to do. This is their opportunity to create something amazing, to create something that they've always wanted. And this person sees themselves as being successful. They don't see anything other than that. Fun, success, higher chance of commitment. This person is manifesting that. And this person is manifesting it too in their own way, but introducing their emotions to themselves again. And this relationship is helping them do that. But the person over here, confidence, knows what they know. They're utilizing the skills that they have to best, best not manufacture the relationship, but best maintain the balance and create a balance. Do whatever they need to do to reach that higher sense of commitment in this relationship. Because this person knows that they got everything that they need to. This person knows that no matter whatever situation that they face, they're prepared for it. They're ready for it. They can handle it. This person's got so much confidence. From this to this, it's confidence to me. And this person's confidence, I feel like the Empress could be the other person as well. And I think this person is also learning how to be more passive as well, because this person's very go-getter. Like this person, the King of Swords, he'll get whatever he wants. He'll do whatever he wants. He's very clear on what he wants, so he goes and gets it, right? But I feel like this person is learning to be more passive too. Even though they're so active and going, going and going and going and going, they have to be more passive. So they're introducing a passive life to them too. If they're more aware of their emotions, they seem more emotional based, and they're just really good at communication, and they're not really detached, this person could just be learning how to be more passive in their life. But this person is learning how to be more, have confidence in themselves. Have confidence that no matter what difficult situation they face, they can tackle it. They have everything that they need.